Hey everybody. The world, according to Jen and Carolyn, is going on vacation. We're headed to New Orleans, but fear not, we wouldn't leave you without content. So I give to you 3 separate outtakes from some of the first shit we ever laid down. So accept this as an offering in our absence, and we'll see you next week.
So, to talk a little bit about my life. So I was raised by 2 moms. And
tell me about Nancy.
My show notes are origin, this lesbian walks into a bar, ... So
literally.
Yeah. Well, my moms, they were together for, I think maybe 4 or 5 years before. I'm going to refer to my biological mom as bad mom. And my other mom is good mom. Very simplistic, but it will help us keep things straight. Okay. When you have 2 moms and you're telling a story, it's really hard to Anyway, so my moms were together for, decent amount of time. Bad mom's like, hey, I want a kid. And my good mom is like, well, can we talk about this? And my other mom was like out the door, like, peace, and headed to a bar to find somebody to knock her up. Because again,
do you know what bar it was?
No, that I don't know.
I wish really? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. And my bad mom, my bio mom, she's been gay since the day she was born. I mean, I think you're born that way, but my mom was very obviously gay. And so, it was an interesting time. You didn't go to the sperm bank, especially when you're a low income like us in the city, Noe Valley. My mom's from San Francisco, born and raised.
I didn't know that.
Born and raised, Frisco lesbian.
You're second gen.
Not really, because I grew up in South City, but that's a story for another time. Literally, we're going to talk about that in the next podcast. So, yeah, she just would troll bars. I don't know how long it took necessarily to find my father. It was a dude from Israel who my mom's like, oh, Jews, they're smart. I'm going to let this guy knock me up. Literally, that was her thinking. She's divulged this to me.
Oh, my God. Seriously?
Model minority. We're not minorities, but you know what I mean?
Man.
So anyway, starts banging it out with this dude till she gets pregnant. My understanding is that it happened pretty quickly. And also, my dad had a wife and a kid already. Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
My dad was a philanderer.
Oh, wait, that's right. It wouldn't have been a one-night stand. In my head, it was always a one-night stand.
No, that's too Hollywood, girl. Took a few times. But they would go to this seedy place. It's gone now.
Wait, that's a lot of work. I mean, that's actually I can't even get a guy to go on a second date with me if I meet him at a bar.
I know.
I mean, she got a guy to basically, date her long-term.
It's admirable. Yeah.
I wonder how she did that.
I don't know. But she just kept giving it up because she wanted a kid. And so, I came along 9 months later and Dad was never really part of the picture. And, my mom stuck it out for maybe another 2 years after I was born and things very quickly fell apart. And, bad mom, as she got older, progressively, the mental health really started to deteriorate as it happens. Carolyn knows this is her profession. And so they broke up. But, it's a trip. And so talking about my dad and his philandering, right? So thanks to the power of the internet, this was before my husband and I got together. So I would say this is about 14 years ago.
Did he know, did she tell him she got pregnant? You have a kid?
Yes.
Okay. So
I met him once when I was 3.
Okay.
That was it. I have pictures with him though. So anyway, fast forward to I don't know, maybe 14 years ago, something like that. I'm like, I'm going to go on Facebook. I was like, I know my half brother exists. I know his name. I'm like, fuck it. Yeah. Put anybody's name into the internet and get some hits. So even back in the days of 14 years ago, feels like
I actually think it was easier then.
I know. It feels like 100 years ago.
It was way easier to stalk people back then.
I think so. There were fewer people making their profiles private. So anyway, my brother definitely made his profile private after I found him. So I hit him up. I found him and I was like, oh, wow, this guy looks like me. Into a lot of the same things I like music, the outdoors, etc. I was a bit blown away as to how much we had in common for 2 people who hadn't grown up together, right? Nature versus nurture. Anyway, I sent him a message and the hook was me going, oh, hey, is your dad's name David? Just to make sure I had the right guy, even though I knew.
Which also is
the guy looks like me. It's crazy.
That's like asking a hot Irish guy, hey, is your dad Pat? That's such a hey, Jewish guy, is your dad David?
It's true.
That's not really.
Hey, white man, is your last name Smith? Yeah. I know. I totally understand. But he was like, yeah. He was like, I don't remember you. How do you know my dad? And I was like, oh shit,
you are the father.
Yeah, Maury Povich time. So I sent him a message and I was very respectful, but it was 14, 15 years ago. So I think I drew in like it's always sunny in Philadelphia quote. Like maybe not what you want to do when you're breaking it to somebody that they have an illegitimate sister. But, I tried to keep it light and fun. Like,
what was the quote?
Surprise! I don't remember, honestly. I probably have the record somewhere, but anyway. So, I told this dude, like, hey, I'm your sister. I know this is probably pretty weird, but here's the circumstances, and I'd love to meet you. And at the time, he lived in San Francisco as well. And I waited, and I was just like, staring at my computer. And finally, I saw he responded, and he was like, I knew this was a scam, but I had to check. And I was like, what is he talking about?
He thinks you're catfishing him.
Yeah. And I was like, oh no, like, what does he think I'm trying to do here? And I'm like, had to check. I'm like, oh man, did he ask our dad? Like, hey dad, do you have an illegitimate daughter out there?
Or I wonder how many illegitimates there have
I bet
been.
there's so many, because my mom said that he would hit on women in front of her. He'd hit on women in front of his mistress. Like, Don
I know, I was going to
shit.
say, in my mind, I was like, oh, wow, that's bad. You're hitting someone in front of your girlfriend. That's not even his girlfriend.
Bad, dude, bad.
Wow. Or he's either the most brilliant guy or the most horrible guy.
Oh, crazy. So anyway, that was the last that I interacted with my brother. And I just wrote like, hey, I'm sure this is a lot to process. I was trying to be really respectful. And, if you ever, where to find me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and if you want to go on my page and look at pictures, you can see how much we look alike.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah. Never heard from him.
If you ever need a kidney.
Right, exactly. Don't hit me up for bone marrow, motherfucker.